So use linear, time is 50 days, head is -20. Like so. Click on OK. And in the Model Explorer, right click on the full reservoir slow and use as global water level in the appearing menu. Again, it's a repeat of this part over here. So we have already made this as global, so this option does not apply anymore over here. So now let's have a look at the upstream segment over here. So as you can see, select the water segment in the upstream shoulder, and it's indicated by a red color in the model, as they say. So let's expand it out and select water segment 7 here, so it should be in red, and expand it, change it from constant to time dependent, and change it to slow, like so. And as you can see, there's nothing much left over here, so we can proceed to the phase free part of the video. So we've already gone through about 31 steps already, so bear with me. And now let's create the third phase. So select the high reservoir phase, which is the gravity loading. You know what, I'll just quickly rename this as high reservoir, and that's it. Click on add. So once we've already created the third phase, we need to check on these settings here for calculation type and groundwater. In this case, we'll be using a plastic option and steady state groundwater flow. So those two are set correctly already. And in the Deformation Control subtree, ignore undrained behavior A, B, and make sure reset displacements to 0 and reset small strain options are selected. So that's a pretty long list of things to say. So they are already selected over here. And uncheck ignore suction. So that's correct over there. And click on OK. So let's move on. So we need to create the water level over here. So this will be the water level. I forgot to change this to low level. Over here, low level. Hit enter and click on OK. So let's define the water level over here. So click on the create water level tool. And we'll be starting from -132,5. So it's about here. Yeah, looks about right. And the second point is inside the dam at -60,5. So -60 is about right about here. You can hold shift to draw in one plane, so you don't have to worry about the mouse going up or down. So just hit the left mouse button when it's about right there. -60,5. And the third point is 93, -10. So 93 is about, yeah, about here somewhere, right there. And the next and final point would be 132, -10. So it'll be about here. Hit enter and hit escape. So we've already drawn our new level here for the low level. So select this and make as global, like so. And then we need to rename the newly created water level as low level _ steady. Rename this as low level _ steady. So there we go. We've already defined all those tedious phases over here in this exercise. So let's proceed to phases 4 and 7. So for phases 4 to 7, we just need to add this calculation phase safety. So this is the phase to calculate the factor of safety for your dam. So it should look something like this. So just add one phase over here, for example, and just call it rapid drawdown for this case. So rapid draw down. You don't have to worry about the same name for two phases here, because they'll be unique in the sense that you can see one is clearly a safety phase while the other one is a fully coupled flow deformation phase. So now let's create the safety phase for the slow drawdown over here. So slow drawdown, and let's change it to safety. And the low level as well, let's create one. So this would be low level and safety. And for the high reservoir, and choose safety. So before we click on OK, so one thing to note before we click on OK is to go to the Deformation Control subtree, and reset displacements to 0 must be selected. So I'll just check again. So reset displacements to 0 is selected for high reservoir. For low level phase over here, it's not selected. And we need to check for slow drawdown over here. And we also need to check for rapid drawdown. There we go. And in the numerical control parameter subtree, use default iter parameter box and set the max steps parameter to 30 for phase 4 and 50 for phases 5 to 7. So phase 4 over here, we just keep it at 30 steps for phase 4. So scroll down over here and find max steps in the numerical control parameters over here. So max steps is right over here. So uncheck use default iter parameters here and set it to 30 for phase 4. And for phases 5 all the way to 7, we will use 50. So 50, so this is 30 over here, 50 for 5, and 50 for step 6, phase 6, sorry, and for phase 7 as well, 50. So before we can click on OK, there's one last setting that we need to check, and that is the ignore suction setting. So in this note here, it says that it is more conservative for us to ignore suction, because suction can increase the factor of safety, and we don't want that if we want to be more careful. So again, so check all the phases here and make sure ignore suction is on. So they should be on by default, except in low level in this case, or at least in my file, and high reservoir. So you can just click on OK right now, proceed to the stage construction, and make sure everything is activated for each phase. So in the high reservoir, activate everything here. Same as in the rapid drawdown phases and so on. And so we need to select the nodes at the crest and at the toe of the dam. So select points for curves, click on continue. So just find minus 2.5 comma 30. Search closest and just try to navigate your way through this over here. Select this point, find the next point, minus 80 comma 0. Search closest and right over here. So click on update, click on calculate, and you have some warnings here. We have to ignore the warnings regarding the influence of suction. So ignore feedback and calculate. So it's gonna take some time over here. So let's open up the results. So let's click over here. Click on I agree and continue. And let's view the steady state situation with a high reservoir level and choose the pore pressure distribution P active for the high reservoir. So in the high reservoir, just proceed to stresses and choose the P active over here. So we have a similar, if not exactly the same set of results as obtained over here for the high reservoir level and for the rapid drawdown of the reservoir level. So let's select that. We have the exact same shape of the lines over here, and as well as the stresses over here behind the dam. In the slow drawdown phase, we also have the same diagram over here, and for the low reservoir at the steady state, we have the exact same diagram over here. And I guess I'll wrap this video up over here for now. I know I haven't gone to the graphing part yet, but I'm sure you're already bored looking at Plaxis 2D for, I don't know, perhaps 20 minutes to half an hour by the time I've edited this video. So I do appreciate you watching this video tutorial. If you've watched from beginning to end, kudos to you. And if you do like the content that I make in this channel, do consider subscribing to my channel. It means a lot to me, and it continues to encourage me to make more videos that help others out there. As always, I hope you're doing well in these days, staying healthy, keep learning, and goodbye.